Well, it's a beautiful day here on the range. I haven't been shooting since February, so very happy to be out. Looks like I've got all day to do a lot of testing. The first up is Colt Single Action Army in 44 Special. This is the first and only 44 Special I've ever owned, and I did a video on it when I fired it for the very first time. I'll have some clips of that in this video. That day did not go well. It shot great. The accuracy was outstanding. This particular example was made, I think, early 80s, like 1982. Cosmetically, it's pretty nice for early 80s because they had a lot of cosmetic problems that would crop up around that time due to the labor disputes they had going on, and I guess people just didn't care. But I had something about it was either made incorrectly or the previous owner abused it. But even with the mildest loads I was shooting, I was having extremely sticky extraction. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. A little sticky extraction, don't know what's up with that. Maybe the little chamber roughness or something. Because those are arguably mild loads. 6 grains, tight group. I tell you what, that is a pleasant load. That nice, light target load. I'm kind of seeing why guys who like the 44 Special like the 44 Special so much. I'm definitely going to have to do something about that chamber. I thought maybe it was rough chambers, and eventually determined that the front part of each cylinder was wider in diameter. Sorry, each chamber. The front part of each chamber was wider than the rear. And what that meant was, as the cartridge case swelled, yes, it contracts a little bit after the initial firing, but the final shape of the formed case was larger at the front than at the rear. And so when I was trying to eject it, it was having to squeeze it back down to get out of there. And I briefly entertained trying to ream it out, and that was impossible. I also noticed that there seemed to be some slight bulging. Hard to see, is just a shadow mark, but slight bulging where the cylinder cuts were in each chamber. So it's possible someone abused it. Didn't seem like the frame stretched or anything. It still had good end shake as far as that goes. But the ultimate fix was I had to buy another cylinder, new old stock, and it had been unfitted. I had to fit it, I had to time it. The upside was it actually ends up with a better action than before. The timing is excellent. Perfect timing. Each chamber is parked, with each click, it's parked center of the loading gate where I need it to be. The only thing I'm a little worried about today is, number one, if that was a manufacturing problem with the front of the chambers being larger. That's a condition that's not unheard of. It's kind of rare. Ruger's one that usually suffered from it. But when they drill the chambers in the cylinder, they had a fixture that would actually drill all 6 holes at once. And if the cutter started wearing, you could start kind of walking a little bit. Instead of going straight down, they were sort of wobbling a little bit. The wobbling got worse as the hole got deeper, so the final chamber ended up being wider at the front end. So I guess it's remotely possible that the new old stock cylinder that I bought, it also suffers from the same problem. Another thing is I had the use of some barrel tools and all the lore about an 11-degree forcing cone being superior for shooting lead bullets. You get a new toy, a new tool, sometimes you just got to use it. It's shot very well before. I hope that after today's shooting I don't realize that I should have left well enough alone. But I did put an 11-degree forcing cone on it. So this is its first shoot since my repair. Let's hope it does well. And I'm going to do some chronograph testing with it as well. I've got some different loads cooked up for it this time. I have some very, very mild loads, 5 grains of red dot. And these are some bullets that a friend gave me years ago we traded for. Just commercial swage cast. I don't know if these are lead. They just had some kind of a black waxy coating. I don't know if it was like a graphite, wax, lube, I don't know. Don't know if those are lead, but that's a very mild load. That shoots well. Be doing a lot of shooting with that. What I've noticed the first time I shot this was it shot very well and it's very comfortable to shoot. But what I'm going to start off with is the classic Skeeter Skelton load. He liked 7.5 grains of unique over a 250 grain Keith bullet. So this is a bullet that I cast. Anyway, we're going to do some accuracy testing with it first, obviously, make sure I don't hit the chronograph. And then chronograph these. I'm curious as to what they're pushing. It's supposed to be it's not a maximum load, but it's supposed to be a good field load, you know, 900 feet per second, something like that. I get my ears and my shooting glasses on. All right. It's hard to get your hand around the grip properly on this rest, but just for this accuracy test, I want to get the best, most stable platform I can. All right. 7.5 grains of unique under a 255 grain lead semi-wad cutter. Boy, the point of aim, point of impact is outstanding with this. Hold that one. And that should be 5. Now, focus in on the firearm here, and we're going to see what the extraction's like. Ah, yes. They're not falling out of the chambers, but it's not the difficult extraction like it was before. Forward was incredibly hard. Those were felt like a healthy load. So we're going to see what they do over the chronograph. If we can focus on the chronograph, particularly hopefully get it to focus on the readout there. And here goes the chronograph. Looks like over 9. What is that reading?
9994.
Call them out.
9927. 9609. 9861. 9923.
Well, just sub 1,000 feet per second at about 10 yards from the muzzle. A little bit higher than I was expecting. See why that would make a good field load, good woods load. Well, we're going to try, and I'm not going to use that stick and pistol rest anymore. It's uncomfortable. Going to try these mild loads, 5 grains of red dot. What I discovered the first time I was out here shooting was the mild loads was where this really seemed to come into its own. You'll notice if you focus on the revolver, it's going to kick a lot less than it did with those skeeter loads. And but my experience the last time was the point of impact was about the same. That's one neat thing about 44 specials is with the same weight bullet, no matter what the velocity, they seem to produce the same point of impact. So we're going to take a couple shots here. I'll be shooting at the second one down on the left. Just shoot a little bit higher. Nope, that was point of aim, point of impact. I shot my sticker off. Tell that's a very mild load just from the soot that's gathering on the outside of those. But extraction is a little bit easier than with the skeleton load. So I would say that skeleton load is probably about maximum as far as you'd ever want to take it. Let's see what these mild loads are chronographing. I've got a bunch of red dot. I had a relative whose grandfather was an avid shotgun reloader and he died. So I could go in and get all the reloading stuff that I wanted. I don't really do shotgun much, but he had a whole bunch of red dot powder, which makes pretty good. A lot of shotgun powders double as handgun powder. So let's see what this does over the chronograph.
Seven two 7-1.
Yeah.
7427. 7232.
Looks like I didn't get a reading on that.
No. 7282.
So that's the nice mild stuff. Yeah, it's actually not that hard to do. I wish the window on this was a little bit bigger. You really got to line those up perfectly to eject them, or they want to bump into the edge of the window. So kind of sooty, these low pressure cartridges. Got a round target out there at 50 yards. Let's see if I can hit it with this skeleton load. Aiming with the camera, kind of hard. That looked like that hit. Dang. almost dead center. Boy, it's hard to see through this camera screen. To aim and then come up in order to pick it out. That was 5 already. Dang. A little bit harder to extract, but it's condition of the primers. They're not bad. Not flattened or anything. Although with straight-walled pistol cartridges, a lot of people try to judge how heavy a load is by looking at the primers in a straight-wall pistol cartridge, and that's really not the best way. Tell you, sticky extraction is about it. The reason sticky extraction on a revolver straight-wall pistol cartridge is a good sign is that, you know, the case expands and the cylinder expands, and if you get really sticky extraction, it means the cylinder is expanded enough for the brass to expand so far out that even when it contracts, it's still a tight fit. When the cylinder springs back, it springs back a lot further, and the brass doesn't spring back as far after it shoots, so it ends up being a lot tighter. But that's not dangerously sticky. That's a nice load. That's a good field load. Not what I'd call a plinking load, though. One more cylinder of the mild stuff, and then I'll call it a day for now on this Colt Single Action Army. I really understand now why Elmer Keith liked the 44 Special so much. All right, point of view on the 25-yard steel. A little easier to see. Where I'm shooting high, I think. As interesting as a film angle as that point of view stuff is, a lot harder to shoot that way. And I think this is capable of better accuracy than it was displaying then. We'll take some informal shooting, more of these skeleton loads. Shakes today. Did some heavy work yesterday, and a lot of the reloading that I was doing, working at an odd angle. So my arms are a bit fatigued. Not a good combination when you're trying to do accurate shooting and more of these mild stuff. I don't like the blow-by I get with the mild stuff, so maybe I'll start annealing this brass like I do my 45 Colt stuff. There's a fine, fine shooting revolver. Still no end shake to speak of. Good lock up. Looks like the 11-degree forcing cone that I did at least didn't ruin anything. It's not shooting any better than it did before. At least it's not shooting worse. There you have it. Colt Single Action Army and 44 Special. Fine, fine revolver.